Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. You are now tuned into Armyprinncess TableTalk with your girl Army Princess, U.S. Army soldier. I've been in the military for over 15 years now, and I love to share my experiences with you all. This is the very first episode of Armyprinncess TableTalk. It is 2024, and I know that when I came back to this channel, I had to do something different. I know you all were used to my original content, and I've been on the platform for a while now with the same type of content. I used to give you all tips and tricks. I used to give day in a life. I used to do a little bit of story time, but I knew that when I came back this year, I wanted to take a deeper look into some of the issues, some of the topics, some of the ideas that are within the military that we only just scratched the surface on in the past. There are things that need to be brought to the light, and I want to use this podcast to bring things to the table, take a deep dive into some of the things that I know you all have been thinking about, some of the things that have been brought to light on social media and TikTok in particular. And I feel like doing this type of content in a podcast style will allow me to get a little bit more personal, shed a little bit more of my preference or my ideas, my thoughts and opinions on some of the issues and subject matter, and we can all sit at the table and discuss it together. With that being said, sit down, have a seat at the table, and let's dive into today's topic. Today's topic is the problem with Black females in the military, my unpopular opinion. Now, before we start, I want to put this disclaimer out here because I know this is going to trigger a lot of people. But this is my opinion on my experiences as I see it, as I know it, from the time that I've been in the military. Now, I am in no way, shape, or form saying that this pertains to all Black military females or even every branch of the military. We all know there are outliers. We all know that everybody is not a majority. There are minority situations out there. But in general, in a nutshell, from what I've seen, from what I experienced, I'm going to give my unpopular opinion on some of these topics when it comes to Black females in the military. Now, like I said, like I alluded to in the introduction of this podcast, social media has taken the world by storm. And what it does is it allows everybody to have a platform to be able to voice their thoughts, feelings, concerns, gripes, and complaints. And some of the stuff, in my opinion, does not need to be said out loud into the world. Some stuff does, some stuff should, but some stuff definitely shouldn't. So as we deep dive into some of these future podcasts, I will be pulling content from TikTok in particular, because I see a lot of my military brothers and sisters over on TikTok just letting it all hang out, just letting it be bare over there. And I think that provides a great opportunity to bring some of these topics to the table. Let's take a look at this first video, because this kind of in a nutshell sums up a lot of what I've been hearing over my military career. And I know I'm not the only one. And if you've heard this, if you've thought of this, if you've seen this somewhere, let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts and opinions on Black females in the military, just from what you've heard or what you've seen. But let's go ahead and take a look at this video.
It's 2023. What I really want y'all to stop doing is, as women of color in the military, stop acting like stuck-up bitches. Like, that's not cute. You not that girl by doing it. Like, now when I see you, I turn my nose up, because it's given, if your attitude stink, your booty stink. Pretty much. Like, y'all higher ups that are women of color, y'all think because y'all have rank on y'all chest, or anybody in general that has rank on their chest above other female soldiers of color. Like, what be wrong with y'all? Like, seriously, that's because that mean girl shit gets you nowhere. It'll actually get you beat up, to be honest. But that's just me, though. I don't know about nobody else.
In this video, she's kind of in particular talking about higher ranking black females, but I think that this could go for any rank. I've seen this and heard this concern with all ranks and all branches of the military. And so I'm going to give my unpopular opinion on why I think this is a thing in the military and why I think a lot of our black females in the military feel this way. With number one, and I've spoken about this in some of my other past videos as it pertains to being a female in the military and what it's like being a female. But I think in general, as a female, especially in an all-male force or a majority male force like the military, you have to work harder to get the same position. Now, I wouldn't say so much lately because, equality and everything like that is being pushed right now. But I can definitely attest to 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago when I was in the military. In my opinion, I feel like as a woman, you have to work 2 times harder to be seen as a great leader or to be taken serious. And a lot of higher ranking people, like how she mentioned, put in their work, did their time to get where they are. And so they're not going to let somebody come up behind them and shake that or rattle that very easily. So they're going to hold on to that top spot, which is not always the best thing. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying it is what it is. Like if I clawed and scraped and worked hard to get to where I'm at, I'm not going to let a little private or a little E1, E2 come and take my spot. Like I'm going to hold my spot down. And I think that's how a lot of senior NCOs feel because, like I said, they've been doing it for so long. They work their way up to the top. It's not necessarily the best ideal way, but I think that's a lot of what plays into why people act the way they act when they are at where they are. The second thing is, and this is my biggest thing. This is my pet peeve, y'all. My pet peeve when it comes to black females in particular in the military is a lot of y'all just try to be too cute. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. A lot of y'all be doing the most, the absolute most, the utmost. Like just... And y'all know I advocate for being womanly, being feminine, being pretty, looking the part in uniform. But some of y'all take advantage. It's got to be said. Like, maybe I'm just old school. Maybe it's just me. But coming in there with tight pants, number one, that boils my blood. Your pants are not supposed to be skin tight. They are not supposed to be jeggings and leggings. That's number one. Number two, y'all nails be pushing the envelope. They told us we can wear nails. They told us we can wear earrings. They told us we can have braids. And some of y'all just take it too far. Y'all just take it way too far. And then when somebody try to say something, it's a problem. That's the other part. Like, if somebody say something to you, and you like borderline, don't get an attitude. Do not get an attitude. And like what this female alluded to, or she didn't allude to, she blatantly came out and said it in her TikTok, is the attitudes. Like, here's another video of somebody speaking about attitudes.
I don't like talking to y'all because y'all always trying to find something. Y'all always trying to find something, very much something. Y'all always trying to find something to talk about.
I'm not saying everybody, because I have definitely met, like I have, out of all the black females that I know in the military, I would say a fraction of them had a stank attitude, but some of y'all do. Some of y'all do. My thing is, it's not necessarily that people just walk around with attitude, because I don't think that's what it is. I think that if somebody tries to correct you, or somebody tries to say something to you, or somebody tries to offer advice to you, you automatically get defensive and automatically get an attitude. Now, I've heard the stories of people saying that they are what's the word, stereotyped. So they hear a black girl they hear that a black girl is coming into the office or into the work environment, and automatically she's stereotyped with an attitude, with loud and ghetto-ness. And that's could be true. I'm not saying it's not true. I don't want to take it away from anybody, but a lot of y'all give them something to stereotype. In my unpopular opinion, and y'all feel free to drag me in the comments, because I know some of y'all gonna do it. But that brings me to my next point. Some of y'all just ghetto. Like, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Some of y'all are the ghetto. And be who you are. Be who you want to be. Sis, if you came from the hood, I'm not saying you got to be somebody that you're not. I'm not saying you got to change who you are. All I'm saying is that there is a time and a place for everything. And in my unpopular opinion, because I know a lot of people get triggered by, I cannot think of the term of it, but basically it's like code switching. I think that's what it is. Like, a lot of people get triggered by having to code switch, or feeling like they need to code switch to fit into an environment. But you have to read the room. If it's a professional setting, you should come in and act accordingly. The military is a professional environment. And this could go for any race. Like, I'm not saying like black people can't be who they are. Like, I've said that. If you are Asian or you are white and you acting unprofessional, you need to read the room and act accordingly. If y'all want to call that code switching, then by all means. But the way to get to the top, and the way to get to be seen and to be taken serious sometimes, is that you have to come in and play the part. Like, I mean, it sounds bad. I think it sounds bad, but it's the God honest truth. Like, sometimes you just got to play the part. Sometimes people just not going to take you serious until they know that you can do the job. They know that you can act accordingly in a professional setting. And like, I'm going to default and say, it's not always right. I'm not saying it's the like that they are right, but it is what it is sometimes. And in order to be taken serious sometimes, in order to make it to the top sometimes, in order to get to where you want to go, sometimes you just got to act accordingly. And ghetto with the edges laid to the gods, the lashes fluttering, and the tight pants is not going to get you where you want to be, sis. It's just not. Another issue that I see with a lot of black females in the military, and this kind of goes back to my very first topic of people working very hard to get to where they are. Once you get to where you are, you need to turn around and you need to lend a helping hand to the people underneath you. That is probably one of the biggest issues with the African Americans in the military, black females in the military. They don't want to mentor the people underneath them. You don't have to be a mentor to somebody in your section. You don't have to be a mentor to somebody in your department. You don't even have to be a mentor to somebody at your post or at your base. You can mentor from afar, but you need to have a mentor and you need to be a mentor, because that's the only way to crush these stereotypes. That's the only way to quit feeding the stereotypes. That's the only way to help everybody underneath you get to where you are, is by mentoring them, training people, leading people, being the standard, advising people on what to do and what not to do. And we don't have enough of that in the military, period, let alone black females in the military. Like I always preach this in my videos, is mentorship, 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 because you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know that you are supposed to act a certain way in a certain type of setting, or you're supposed to read the room, or you're supposed to have your hair a certain type of way depending on certain activities, then you just gonna walk in and be that stereotype and feed into and help them feed into what you're trying to dissolve, if that makes any sense. So be a mentor. The last thing that I am going to bring up is, child, I don't even know if I want to say this out loud. Gen Z. Some of y'all kill me, man. Some of y'all just... I'm going to do a whole separate podcast on Gen Z in the military. Like, I could talk a whole podcast. I'm going to bring some people in for that one. But I know you all hear it all the time that the military is forever changing and evolving, which everything evolves. Everything changes. Stuff can't stay constant. It can't stay the same. It has to evolve to be better. The way that things were done in the past are out the window in 2023, 2024. Y'all hear about the military struggling to get people in. That's a whole nother podcast, a whole nother topic that I'm gonna bring to the table. But what's entering the military force now is Gen Z, because they're at the age where they can join. And I've seen a decline in productivity in the type of soldier that is put into the military since Gen Z has entered the chat. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about Gen Z for now. Yes. So if you all have any input on any of these topics, definitely let me know in the comment section below. Feel free to drag me, because I know some of y'all gonna get a little triggered and some of y'all gonna want to tussle down in the comments. I'm here for it. Your girl's here for it in 2024. But before I go, because this is a short, very first podcast, I'm not just gonna throw out the things that I think are an issue. I'm gonna give y'all some answers to some solutions to some of these problems. I think that's what I'm gonna do in my future podcast. I'm not just gonna discuss it and just leave it there on the table and just let it all hang out and not tidy it up at the end. I'm gonna put in my 2 cents on how I think we can resolve some of the issues. And so let me start out with this. Be open to criticism. This can go for anything. I'm not just talking about black females in the military. Just in general, be open to criticism. Everybody is not a hater. Everybody's not out to get you. Everybody is it's not that they don't like you or they just jealous of you or they think you too cute. Some people really have your best interest at heart and they want to see you win, especially mentors. So if somebody sees you and they walk up to you and they try to offer you, criticism or like, hey sis, I think you should do this, or I saw this, I noticed this, I think you could do this better. Be open to it. If it, what did they say? If it don't apply, let it fly. But if it's something that you just in the back of your head when they said and you like, they may be a little right, or let me look into it. Be like, thank you, cool. I'm going to check it out and move on. But everybody's not trying to just hate on you or get you in trouble or whatever the case may be. And with that being said, if you're going up to somebody, there is a way to do it. Be tactful. Be respectful. Come at them in a mentorship loving way. Hey, I noticed, your nails were a little long. I don't want nobody to say anything to you. Do you know the regulation on it? Because they just look a little long. Share some information with somebody. Don't just be like, girl, look at her nails long, or look at them tight pants. Or, you know what I mean? It's a way to say it. And I think that's the issue with with our black females. They go with that neck get the rolling, them eyes get the rolling, and it's just downhill from there. If you're going to walk up to somebody and correct them, you need to know the regulations. You need to be in the regulations. They are ever changing and evolving. So make sure you know what you're talking about when you do go up to somebody, because I see a lot of TikToks with lashes. And we all know in the Army in particular, I can't speak for Air Force, Navy, Marine, but in the Army, lashes, y'all, my black females, lashes are not allowed unless you have a medical condition authorizing you to wear lashes in your records on paper. So all these girls with these lashes, they are not allowed. But you need to know the regulation on that. You should know that before you put eyelashes on. Before you put anything on your body or on your uniform, check the regulation. Read the room. If you come into an office, if you come into a setting, if you come into an environment and you don't know what you're getting yourself into, come in professional. That's always a winner. You can never go wrong. Coming in professional, being in the right uniform, right place, right time. Once you know what you're walking into, then you can let loose. You know what I mean? After you get in there, after you make it to the top, after you mentor people, then you can let it loose. But we don't need to keep these negative stereotypes going. We need to break that cycle today. Last but not least, we need to maintain the standard. If anybody else in the military don't maintain the standard, black females in the military need to be the standard bearers. I'm going to say it again for my black females in the back of the room that didn't hear me. Be the standard bearers. Maintain the standard at all times. You cannot go wrong with being professional and maintaining the standard. And on that note, y'all, this is the very first episode of Army Princess Table Talk. If you have any topics, any ideas that you want to bring to the table, leave them in the comments section below. Feel free to drag me. I hope y'all like this new style of content. And until next time, I'll see y'all later. Bye.